Hi everyone, welcome back to 10 Power 100 Karnataka. I hope you're all getting ready for your examinations, which is starting this Saturday. So I'm here to do a quick video for English grammar, which will help all of you completely prepare for the English exam that is coming up after Kannada and a few other exams, right, which is happening on March 3rd. So without further ado, let's start this video, and I hope that this video will help you clarify any doubts that you have with respect to grammar, so that you will be able to do well in grammar section of the English paper as well. Okay, so what I will cover in this video, even in your exam paper, I think we have already covered this in one of the previous videos, right? So you will have 40 marks that is allocated for literature, which will comprise of your MCQs, your 2-mark questions, your 3-mark questions, and your 4-mark long answers, right? So this is your 40 marks literature. The remaining 40 marks is actually divided for grammar and writing. Okay, so in grammar, what are the different topics that will be covered is all mentioned here. Writing, we have already done another video where I have taught you dialogue writing and letter of application along with resume, right? So that video should help you get that marks that is necessary for you for the writing section. So in this video, we will actually cover different grammar pieces. So what I will do today is I'm going to teach you active passive voice, expressions, pronouns, reading comprehension, linkers, correct the sentences or do as directed, note making, and the much awaited reported speech. I was looking at your comments in the comment section, and all of you have requested to do one video itself. So I'm trying to put all of these things in one video. Of course, the emphasis will be on reported speech, because that is something that a lot of you have been asking, which is quite important and which is quite challenging itself, right? So I will teach it to you in a simple way so that you will be able to approach that without any fear. And not just reported speech, all these other topics also we will try to cover it, so that you will be completely confident when you go for your exams. So I'm going to start us off with active passive voice. So this will be question number 11, that is immediately after your MCQs, the 10 MCQs. The 11th question will be active passive voice. In a few minutes, I will actually show you what type of question can come from for this, right? So now, in active passive voice, you need to remember these 4 conditions, children. If you are able to remember these 4 conditions, I think it is cakewalk. You will easily get your 3 marks. Every active passive voice will have a verb written in the brackets, and then you will have a blank next to it, right? So your job is supposed to use the correct form of the verb and fill in that blank. That is what you are supposed to be doing with active passive voice. So in all, let's say for example, we have a sentence like this. She dash play cricket in the park. Now, if this is the question that they have asked you, what you are supposed to do is you're supposed to see what is the correct form of the tense that is supposed to be written over here and appropriately write the answer, right? So it is possible that here most of you will get confused and you will say she plays in the park, which is not wrong. But in active passive voice, you're supposed to be changing the form of the tense also, right? So in this context, this could be present tense or it could be past tense also. So the most appropriate answer would be she is playing in the park or she was playing in the park, right? So both are appropriate answers. In your examinations, however, you will not be getting one sentence like this. You will be getting multiple sentences. So when you get multiple sentences, it's important for you to identify which is the tense that they are using. Okay, so if your sentence is in the form of a present tense, then you need to either use is or are. If it is in the past tense, you need to use was or were. Okay, so that's the first key thing. The second thing you should remember is whether it is in singular tense or whether it is in plural. Okay, so if it is singular, then you will be using, based on the tense, you will have to use is or was. If it is plural, based on the tense, again you will be using are or were. So this is something that I want all of you to focus on and remember. If you are able to remember this rule very well, and if you can identify which tense that question given to you is, then you should be able to do active passive voice without any problem. So I'm going to show you a small example. This is from one of your model question papers. So they will give it to you like this. Fill in the blanks with the passive form of the verb given in the brackets. Okay, now how are you supposed to write this in the exam? Please write the entire question as it is given. Okay, so they have given the ministers felt it was difficult, a question ಹೆಂಗಿದೆಯೋ ಹಂಗೆ ಬರೀರಿ. ಅದು ಬರ್ದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ blank is there, you're supposed to fill the blank. Okay, one instruction that I want to give all of you is that in the part A, that is the first section, the first answer that you write will be considered as the correct answer. ನೀವು ಅದನ್ನ ಸ್ಕ್ರಾಚ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಮತ್ತೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸತಿ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಬರೆದ್ರೆ that will not be considered as the correct answer even if it is right. That instruction very clear ಆಗಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ. The first answer will always be considered as the correct answer ಅಂತ. So be very careful when you're writing. Now let's see how to do this. ಇವಾಗ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ರೀಡ್, ದ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಫೆಲ್ಟ್ ಇಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ಡಿಫಿಕಲ್ಟ್ ಟು ಕ್ಯಾರಿ ಔಟ್ ದ ಡೆತ್ ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ವರ್ಬ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಫೆಲ್ಟ್, ರೈಟ್? The verb is felt. When you see the verb felt, automatically felt is which tense? It is in the past tense. So this entire thing will carry the past forms, that is either use ಮಾಡಬೇಕು or we have to use this. Okay, so first ನಾನು ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದೆ, I read this first sentence. ನಿಮ್ಮ first sentence ಓದಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ you will get to know whether it is actually in past tense or present tense ಅಂತ. And once you get to know that, you will be easily able to identify this. ಬೇಕಿದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಇದನ್ನ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಬುಕ್ಲೆಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ಒಂದು ಪೆನ್ಸಿಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡಿ ರೂಲ್ಸ್ ನ, ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಯುವರ್ ರಿಮೆಂಬರಿಂಗ್. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನ ಬರ್ದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಎರೇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ವಾಂಟ್, ಆರ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ರೈಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಇನ್ ಯುವರ್ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಪೇಜ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಫಾರ್ ಯುವರ್ ರೆಫರೆನ್ಸ್. Therefore, it dash decide to alter it to one of life imprisonment for life. So therefore, it was, decide is the verb. Bracket ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ decide ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ it was decided ಅಂತ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಆಗುತ್ತಲ್ವಾ ಇವಾಗ, because we are talking about one decision itself, we are not talking about many decisions. So since it is only one decision, your correct answer will be it was decided. So ಈ first blank ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವೇನ್ ಬರೀತೀರಾ, it was decided anta. So you got your 1 mark now. Now after that let's continue. This dash to the prince and he agreed to this. The decision enideyo that was told to the prince, that was informed to the prince. No, so I already gave you the answer. Again past tense nalli irodrinda inform will become was informed. So the correct answer for the second blank is was informed. Yakandre a decision is again singular tense alva. We are not telling decisions, we are saying decision. Decision is singular, this is one decision. Decisions anta helidre this is plural, right? So plural idre then you should have written were anta. Since it is only one decision, it will be was. Last sentence, the criminal dash keep in the prison. Keep the past tense, you know, keeps past tense is kept. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ದೇ ಟಾಕಿಂಗ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಕ್ರಿಮಿನಲ್. ಕ್ರಿಮಿನಲ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾರು, 10 ಜನ ಕ್ರಿಮಿನಲ್? ನೋ, ಓನ್ಲಿ ಒನ್ ಕ್ರಿಮಿನಲ್ ಇಸ್ ದೇರ್. ಸೊ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಒನ್ ಕ್ರಿಮಿನಲ್, ವಿಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಯೂಸ್ ಸಿಂಗ್ಯುಲರ್ ಪಾಸ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ವಾಸ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ವಾಸ್ ಕೆಪ್ಟ್. ಸೊ ದ ಥರ್ಡ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ವಾಸ್ ಕೆಪ್ಟ್. ಸೊ I think now you have a fair understanding of how to do this, right? So first ನೀವೇನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್ ನ ಓದಿ. when you read the first sentence, you'll get to know whether it is in what tense it is ಅಂತ. ನಿಮಗೆ once you get to know whether it is present tense or past tense, ಆ ರೂಲ್ಸ್ ಏನೇನಿದೆಯೋ ಆ ರೂಲ್ಸ್ ನ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ that is more than enough. If you are able to do this much, you will get your 3 marks for your active passive voice. Simple. Now let's move on to the next one, which is expressions. So expressions ಏನಂದ್ರೆ, I think most of you will get confused because ಈ question ಗೆ they will already give you the options. 3 options ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ. From that 3 options, only 2 will be the right answer. Usually one will be very easy, the other one will be slightly tricky. Okay, so how do you do this? First ನೀವು ಇದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಓದ್ಬಿಡಿ. ನಿಮಗೆ 15 minutes reading time ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರುವಾಗ read the question that is given to you. ಆ question ಓದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ you choose the correct answer and then try to fill in the blanks in your memory. ಅಥವಾ ಪೆನ್ಸಿಲ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಒಂದ್ಸತಿ ಬರೆದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು then reread the entire thing. ಮತ್ತೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸತಿ you try to read it. When you are reading it, you will get to know grammatically ಅದು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆಯಾ ಇಲ್ವಾ ಅಂತ, and then it is easy to gain your marks, right? So let's try this logic for this. Now let's look at this example which is there over here and let's apply whatever we have learned, right? So ನಿಮಗೆ ಈ ಸ್ಟೋರಿ ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ರೆ it is easy for you to write the answer also. ಈಗ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನೀವು ಆ ಬ್ರಾಕೆಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದನ್ನ you see what and all they have given. They have given you 3 options. ಏನ್ 3 options? So first option is in a fixed. In a fixed ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಏನು? It's somebody, if you are confused, you will say that you are in a fixed ಅಂತಲ್ಲ. Given up ಅಂದ್ರೆ you have given up. India was lost its match and it had given up hopes of going to the semi-finals alva. So given up means there was no hope or it was over anta. Face lit up means very happy. You suddenly see something and you are very, very happy. Now let's read the sentence and then let's try to fill what is the correct answer. Roof's dash when he was offered money to uh, when he was offered money to vote for Madhuka, but on the day of election he was dash and decided to vote both Marcus and Madhuka. This is the question that they have given you. So illi ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ use, if you use your sense, you cannot say roof ಏನೋ ಒಂದು expression change ಆಯ್ತಲ್ವಾ. Automatically when you are, if somebody gives you money, what will happen to you? You will also feel happy. Which of the options is happy? It is face lit up. So the first blank answer ಏನು, roof's face lit up. Okay, but on the day of the election he was ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತಲ್ವ, ಯಾರು ವೋಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. ವಾಟ್ಸ್ ದ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ದಟ್ ಐ ಸೆಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಷನ್? ಇನ್ ಅ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್. Okay, so this is your expressions. Basically idರಲ್ಲಿ if you are able to know the story, great for you. If they give you anything which is not story related, then please use try to read the sentence properly and see which makes sense over there. Then you will get an understanding ಯಾವ್ದನ್ನ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಫಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. One usually will be easy, one usually will be tricky, is what I said, right? But you will be able to figure it out as long as you are able to reread it. Adanu haakbiಟ್ಟು fill in the blank ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು just read it once again. When you read it once again, you will get to know whether it is right or wrong. So that is your expression section. So from these two sections you have got 5 marks now. Now the next 5 marks comes from match the following, which is basically your pronouns. Okay, now e pronouns ಗೆ what they'll give you is they'll give you a passage. ಈ ತರ ಒಂದು ಚಿಕ್ಕ passage ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು they'll give you match the following correct ಆಗಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. When you are writing your match the following, see, please don't do all this line business and all. What I would say is that ಈ ಕಡೆ pronouns ನ ಬರ್ದು write the question number 13 ಬರ್ದಿ, then write ಈ section ನ ಹೆಂಗಿದೆಯೋ ಹಂಗೆ ಬರ್ದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು correspondingly ಯಾವ್ದು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಇದೆಯೋ ಅದನ್ನ along with the number ಬರೆದ್ರೆ it is enough. I would not say that you should write all the things and then draw lines and all. It will be very confusing for the evaluator, right? So ಈ ಕಡೆ side ಏನಿದೆಯೋ ಅದನ್ನ ಹಂಗೆ ಬರ್ದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು then write whichever is the most appropriate answer. Let's do this question. This is very easy, children. So Mother Teresa was born on 26th August 1910 in Skopje, which is in Macedonia now. So which is the first pronoun, right? ಯಾವ್ದೋ ಒಂದು ಜಾಗದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, which is Skopje. So we will put that as the first option. So which ಗೆ answer will be 4 Skopje. Okay, so that's your first answer. Usually idರಲ್ಲಿ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋದು ಏನಂದ್ರೆ the answer for this question will always be before the option. It will not be after it. In most of the cases it will always be before. A pronoun will always be representing the noun that was there before mentioned in the sentence, right? So illi always see front, in the sense in the beginning, don't see after the word. Similarly, her father ಯಾರ ಫಾದರ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು? ಮದರ್ ಟೆರೇಸಾಸ್ ಫಾದರ್. ಇಲ್ಲಿ you see there are two options, Mother Teresa and Mother Teresa's apostrophe s. So her na we call it as possessive pronouns anta. Okay, like for example, it is her book. When you say her book andre adu avuldu book anta alva. So it is not Mother Teresa, it is Mother Teresa's apostrophe s. So hangirodrinda the correct answer for her will always be Mother Teresa's. Apostrophe s irutte. So please don't get confused here and write the other option, then you will get a wrong answer here and you might lose marks. Idikke other examples can be him, their, ಇವೆಲ್ಲ possessive pronouns. Okay, ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ apostrophe s ಬಂದೇ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. The next one is who ಅಲ್ವಾ. So let's read the passage. Father was Nicola Bohaciu, who was a simple businessman. So who ಯಾರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು? They are talking about her father. So it is Nicola Bohaciu. So this is option 2. So I'll write it as it is, Nicola. Okay, next one, let's clear all of these things. Okay, this is option 2, this is option number 6. Perfect. Next one, she was a beautiful and hardworking girl who was fond of singing. Illi she andre yaar bagge ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು? Entire passage is about Mother Teresa. Now you see ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು apostrophe s ಹಾಕಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು error ಆಗಿರ್ತಿತ್ತು. Then what you would have done, you would have scratched it and you would have written it, presentation would have gone, marks simply would have been cut. So the correct answer for D is first one, which is Mother Teresa. Now the last one, She went to Ireland where she began learning. She went to Ireland where means yavaglu it is jaga. Where is your house? It is in Bangalore anta heltidaರೆ ತಾನೆ. So where anta bandaga it is always talking about the place. What's the place mentioned over here? Ireland. Ireland is 3, so the fifth answer will be 3, Ireland. That's all. It's as simple as that. So the tip over here is, please remember, match the following for pronouns will always be, the answers for the pronouns will always be before the pronoun and not after the pronoun. That is first thing. The second thing is possessive pronouns. Her, his, their. ಇದಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲ apostrophe s ಬರುತ್ತೆ. It is not just the name of the particular person. ಇದೊಂದನ್ನ if you are able to clear it off, then for sure you will get your 5 marks again. Okay, so this is your part A questions, totally 10 marks grammar ಬರುತ್ತೆ. Now we'll move to part D. Before part D, part C ಅಲ್ಲಿ you will have reading comprehension. Reading comprehension ಅಲ್ಲಿ you will have one passage ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಆ passage ಗೆ 9 questions ಇರುತ್ತೆ, or it will be poetry, ಆ poetry ಗೆ 9 questions ಇರುತ್ತೆ. So I would say you can attempt both if you have the time. Whichever you feel comfortable with, you would choose. My students ಗೆ I always say write the prose, the first one, that is question number A bariri ನೀವು, because 30A instead of poetry. Poetry sometimes, you know, the children might find it difficult to understand. So I will always say write the one which has the paragraph, because the answers will be there in the question and you can just think and write it accordingly. Okay, so 31A ಗೆ now we will come to the grammar parts. Idu 4 marks question idu, so there will be 4 sub questions. You will have an option also, or 31B. 31B is linkers. So idikke my tip for all of you is, I think I've told this in my previous video also, attempt both the questions. ಎರಡು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಓದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ you will get to know which one you know the best. ನೀವು ಲಿಂಕರ್ಸ್ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ರೈಟ್ ಲಿಂಕರ್ಸ್. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲ 4 ನಿಮಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ write this first and then write linkers, but write it together one after the other so that you have a best advantage of getting the best marks, right? So I would say attempt both, don't leave anything, because it is very easy to score the marks here, right? So now let's look at the questions. Idralli mostly they'll ask you about articles, prepositions ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕೇಳಬಹುದು, ಈ ತರ rearrange the sentences ಕೇಳಬಹುದು, was were subject verb agreement ಕೇಳಬಹುದು, and similarly correct form of verb ಬರೆಯೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಕೇಳಬಹುದು. So these are very common questions and very easy. If you are able to speak good English, then you should be able to answer this without any problem, right? But idrallu certain tricks are there for you to remember, which I'll try to cover in 3 questions now. So Copernicus said that dash Earth revolves around the sun. Here they are talking about Earth. Articles in the bandaga, you have 3 articles: a, an, and the. You use a when you are talking about some general thing, right? She is a doctor. The general, she is a doctor another is a very general thing. So avaga you will say similarly an anta bandaga you will always use an before vowels. So any word that begins with a, e, I, o, u, e letters in there, if any words begin, then you will always use an. It is an apple, right? She is deciding to go buy an aeroplane to Ireland, so you will always say an before a vowel. The bandaga it is always related to something specific. Okay, if something you are referring to is very very specific, then you will say the. Okay, she is a doctor, she is a heart surgeon is appropriate, but when you say the, she is the doctor who won the first place in her college, right? So illi you are talking specifically about the fact that she was the doctor who actually first won the first place anta agate. So general statements it's always a, specific statements it is always the. Okay, so please remember this. Let's see if we can apply that rule here. Copernicus said that dash Earth revolves around the sun. Now this is a good question, yakandre illi most of you will get confused and say a, e, I, o anta helidri, so we'll put an Earth anta. Copernicus said that an Earth revolves around the sun. No, so in this case we are referring to a specific planet. A planet ಹೆಸರೇನು Earth. When we are specifically talking about a particular thing, and in this case Earth is a thing, right? So that time you will have to use the. Okay, again like I said idella nimage you will know it, right? If you know how to speak in English, you should definitely be able to do it. So remember, specific agi if they are talking, even if it starts with an article, a vowel, you will always write with the, right? So Copernicus said that the Earth revolves around the sun. That is the correct answer. Now in these kind of questions you have to arrange it properly, children. So you need to know where is the subject, where is the verb, and all of those things. So the right answer for this, law and order should be enforced to maintain peace in society. So law and order should be enforced to maintain peace in society, right? So even ಮಾಡ್ತಿರುವಾಗ many children will try to fit everything here and there. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ again try, once you write the sentence ಮತ್ತೊಂದ್ಸತಿ ಓದಿ ಅದು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ sound, if it is not sounding correctly then it is not correct, right? Last year first exam ನಲ್ಲಿ they had given everything is fair in love and war ಅಂತ. So ಅದು ಕೇಳಿದಾಗ some students would have written everything in love is fair and war. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ it is not making sense, right? Everything in love cannot be fair and war, no? So I would say do not try to get confused between the questions. Read it once and then you should be able to write this answer correctly. Now the next one, each man and woman dash given an opportunity to speak. Hilli most of the children what they mistake they will do is each man each woman anta kelidaralva, they'll put up were, but that is wrong. Each man andre enu, one man and one woman, this is singular. Singular anta bandaga it will always be was. So the correct answer is was. Each man and each woman was given an opportunity to speak. We are not talking about men and women. All men and women dash opportunities to speak anidre, then you will say were given. So don't make this mistake. Many of you, they'll give you such kind of a question to twist it and trick you, right? So please be cautious. Each man and each woman, ashtu group alli one man one woman ge they got the opportunity to speak, so you will say was. Last one of my close relatives dash in Sydney now. Inta question alli read this last full sentence na odi. What you will all think, one of my close relatives dash in Sydney, live alva, so you will write of lived in Sydney, but this is wrong, children, because why? They are saying very clearly now ivaga they are living in Sydney, that means present tense. So present tense will always ends with s alva, so the correct answer is one of my close relatives live in Sydney now. Sorry, lives in Sydney now, not lived in Sydney, lives in Sydney now. Yakandre one of my close relatives ivaglu saha they are living alva, so you will write lives in Sydney now and not live. Okay, let's do two more examples from the other two model papers now so that you get more practice from this. The lecturer in English told us to submit dash first assignment on Monday. Again article in the calendar, so it will be a and the. First assignment definitely an agakagala. The lecturer in English told us to submit a first assignment. No, they're asking you to submit specifically that assignment only. So angirvaga the answer will be the first assignment on Monday. This rascal you must with some cheaper way find a dealing. So let's try to do this. You must, yakandre every sentence will start with a noun, right? So you must find some cheaper way of dealing with this rascal. You must find some cheaper way of dealing with this rascal. Okay, so that is your rearrange the sentences. So like I did now, read it slowly. When you read it slowly, you will get to know what should come first, what should come in the end, and you will be able to do it easily. Now biodiversity dash been the teacher of abundance. Biodiversity have been anta heladikagadilla alva. Biodiversity is singular, so we will say has been the teacher of abundance. Now last one, in 2011 the UN General Assembly dash organized a conference on harmony with nature. 2011, that is in the past. So past anta bandaga, like I said previously, present andre you will add s, past andre you will add ed. So in this case it will be ed, it will be organized. In 2011 the UN General Assembly organized a conference on harmony with nature. If you observe how I am doing it, ella answer bardadmelo I am actually reading properly once. Sumla blank fill mabiti next question hogbidadalla. Read it once. Once you read it, you will get to know whether you have written it correctly or not wrong. So it is always better to be cautious over here. Okay, so this is another paper. Let's do one more paper with similar questions. Here they have asked preposition. Prepositions anta bandre the position of the object ellide annadra ಬಗ್ಗೆ you have to remember position of the object. So examples for this are by, with, on, in, between, right? So these are all called as prepositions. So e prepositions only, whichever is appropriate in that case, you should be able to fill it. Now let's see this question. Nisha is used to come to school dash bus. She's coming to school. So many students will say in bus. Nisha is used to come to school in bus. School in bus ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೋದಕ್ಕಾಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ವಾ? With the help of bus they are coming. So the most appropriate preposition will be by bus over here and not in the bus or on the bus. In the bus ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಳಗಡೆಯಿಂದ ಬರೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಅವರು. That bus is a thing, no? By the bus only they will come to the school, so it should always be by. Now let's next one. Again they have asked you to rearrange. Every its own language country has. So every country has its own language. This is simple, right? So that is your 1 mark. One of my friend dash living in Mysore. One of my friends. ಇಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ. ಇಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒನ್ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು. ಸೊ ವಿಲ್ ಇಟ್ ಬಿ is or are? It should be is ಅಲ್ವಾ? So one of my friends is living in Mysore because I'm talking about one friend ಬಗ್ಗೆ. I'm not talking about all your friends. They're telling one of my friends. Some of my friends dash living in Mysore ಅಂತ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ನಾಟ್ ಒನ್, ಒಬ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಸಮ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ. ಸಮ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ಕುಡ್ ಬಿ 3 or 4 ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಸೊ 3 or 4 ಅಂತ ಬಂದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಆಟೋಮ್ಯಾಟಿಕ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಪ್ಲೂರಲ್. ಪ್ಲೂರಲ್ ಬಂದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ದೆನ್ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ರೈಟ್ ಆರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ನಾಟ್ ಇಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಇಫ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಪ್ಲೂರಲ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೈ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್. ನಿಮ್ ಇಷ್ಟು ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಬ್ನು, only one friend is there, no, in Mysore. That is why you will say is. Okay, last one. Priya dash to office by car every day. Routines every day ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದಾಗ it will always be present tense. So Priya goes to office by car. Priya goes to office by car every day. Priya went to office by car every day ಅಂತ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. Priya goes to office by car every day. ಇಲ್ಲೇ ನಿಮಗೆ ನೋಡಿ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಸಿಕ್ತು. ಬೈಕ್, ಬಸ್, ಬೈ ಕಾರ್. See, if you are lucky you will get questions like this also, children. So this is with respect to prepositions and all the other miscellaneous grammar pieces that you have right now. Okay, so that was part A, 31 part A. ಈಗ 31 part B. 31 part B ನಲ್ಲಿ you will have to use linkers. Now before we start solving these questions, linkers means certain words that are used in between sentences to make a connection between the sentences very coherent. Andre it makes the sentences sound very a continuation clear ಆಗಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. So for those kind of words we call them as linkers. Now linkers ಅಲ್ಲಿ they have many linkers which I think all of you would also be familiar. It could be things like however, further, additionally, therefore, hence, but all of these are linkers, conjunctions, etc., which you can use in your answers, right? So adane here they are testing you. So we'll do 2 examples. They'll give you 4 options and they'll give you 4 blanks. ನೀವು ಆ ಪ್ಯಾಸೇಜ್ ನ ಓದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು you should fill in the blanks. Now my strategy that I will tell the students is first you read the paragraph given to you. Don't start reading and filling the blanks. ಹಿಂಗೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ you will get confused. You would have filled something ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಇರಬಹುದು ಅದು, but then later you will realize that ಅದಲ್ಲಿ ಬರಬಾರ್ದು, it should come in the end ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು then it will create a lot of confusion. So what I would say, first read the paragraph. ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ you decide where what will come. I would say also use a pencil here because again you don't make unnecessary mistakes and scratches, right? So let's read this. One fine day a wealthy man drove out of his city. He saw a farmer's house or horse on his way. Dash he was attracted to it. He wanted to buy it. Dash it was looking great. Dash the farmer was not willing to sell his horse. However, the rich man pleaded with him and was ready to pay more. Dash the farmer was convinced and he agreed to sell his horse. So they're talking something about horse and selling and all of that, no? Now let's fill in the blanks. One fine day a wealthy man drove out of his city. So he went out of his city. Okay, he saw a farmer's horse on his way. Dash he was attracted to it. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ ಇವಾಗ options as, at last and but. At last ಅಂತ ಬಂದ್ರೆ it will always probably come in the end ಅಲ್ವಾ? So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರಕ್ ಚಾನ್ಸೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. As he was attracted to it. He saw a farmer's horse on his way as he was attracted to it. No, ಅವನು ಅಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿರೋದಕ್ಕೆ ನೋಡಿದ್ನ ಅವನು ಇದನ್ನ. as is used as a relation here, right? So that's not possible. But he saw a farmer's horse on his way but he was attracted to it. Again that makes no sense. So the correct answer for the first blank will be and. ಅವನು ನೋಡಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ he was attracted, so hence you will say and, right? So that's the first blank. Now we have finished and ಆಯ್ತು. Now we have 3 options. He wanted to buy it. dash it was looking great. He wanted to buy it. He was ಯಾಕೆ ಅವ್ನು ಬೈ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟಪಟ್ಟ, he wanted to buy it because it was looking great. ಇಲ್ಲಿ because ಇಲ್ಲ, because ಬದಲು there's another thing, like I said as will work here, so I will say as. He wanted to buy it as it was looking great. Dash the farmer was not willing to sell his horse. So a farmer was not willing to sell his house. ಇದೇನೋ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಯ್ತಲ್ವಾ, so there is a but over here, so I will put but here. But the farmer was not willing to sell his horse. However, the rich man pleaded with him and was ready to pay more. At last, the farmer was convinced and he agreed to sell his horse. Simple. So, illi, when we did the passage, I got to know at last il barak first al barak chance illa. It has to come in the end. So, ನೀವು at last fill ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು and ನ fill ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ then automatically ನಿಮಗೆ ಎರಡೇ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಸಿಗೋದು. ಆ ಎರಡು ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ you can read it once again and you can fill in the blanks. So, how much time it took for me? It took me hardly 2 minutes, right? But that's very important, children. Systematic ಆಗಿ ನೀವು ಓದಿ ಕೇರ್ಫುಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ it is very very easy to get 4 marks in linkers. But if you are in a hurry and if you want to get fast up, ಬೇಗ ಬೇಗ ಮುಗಿಸ್ಬೇಕು ನಾನು ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ simply you are wasting your you are just losing your marks unnecessarily, right? So be very careful here. Let's do one more example. First, just read it. The old man started telling his story, dash proceeding to some extent he started to fumble, dash he had committed a mistake. So she felt like going away, saying that it was none of her concern, dash she continued to sit there quietly, dash she did not want to hurt the old man. Next read the options: because, after, however, as though. Okay, now let's fill in. This is from Gardner. Gardner story ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ರೆ then it is very easy alva. Okay, the old man started telling his story, full stop, dash proceeding to some extent he started to fumble. Illi because agalla, because you cannot say, because proceeding no chance, however proceeding no chance, as though proceeding no chance. So the answer will be after. After proceeding to some extent he started to fumble, dash he had committed a mistake. ಇದನ್ನ ನನಗೆ ಡೌಟ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ, ಸೊ ಇದನ್ನ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಬಿಡೋಣ. ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಕಮ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಲೇಟರ್. ಶಿ ಫೆಲ್ಟ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಅವೇ, ಸೇಯಿಂಗ್ ಇಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ನನ್ ಆಫ್ ಹರ್ ಕನ್ಸರ್ನ್, ಡ್ಯಾಶ್ ಶಿ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಟು ಸಿಟ್ ದೇರ್ ಕ್ವೈಟ್ಲಿ. ಅವಳು ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಂತ ಆಸೆ ಇತ್ತು ಆದ್ರೆ ಹೋಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಆದ್ರೆ ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ವಾಟ್? but here there is no but, so the alternative is however alva. So however she continued to sit there quietly, dash she did not want to hurt the old man. ಯಾಕೆ ಕೂತ್ಲವಳು? because she did not want to hurt the old man. ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಸಿಕ್ತಲ್ವಾ ನಿಮಗೆ ಆನ್ಸರು? the third answer is because. so write because. ಇನ್ನು ಉಳಿದಿರೋದೇನು? as though. so ಇದನ್ನ you write it here as though. ಈಗ ಮತ್ತೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸತಿ ಓದೋಣ just to see if it makes sense ಅಲ್ವಾ. So the old man started telling his story. After proceeding to some extent, he started to fumble as though he had committed a mistake. Perfect. She felt like going away, saying that it was none of her concern. However, she continued to sit there quietly because she did not want to hurt the old man. Perfect. So you got your 4 marks here. So what did I do here? Nangello one confusion ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ what I left it, ಬೇರೆ blanks ನ fill ಮಾಡಿದೆ, then I came back and I filled this blank correctly also. ಆ ಅಪ್ರೋಚ್ ನೀವು ತಗೊಳ್ಬಹುದು. Okay, so 2 approaches I've taught you. ಓದ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಿ as and how you read the blanks, you fill the blanks accordingly, or fill whatever you think will be the right thing, but fill it correctly. Then you can fill the other blanks as per your convenience. I would say try this approach. This is easier, safer. This is risky because you might make mistakes and then you will have to be confused and all of those things. Time iralladre you will get panic and you will unnecessarily make a lot of mistakes. So my suggestion is to go with the first approach. Read, try to put the right blank, reread again. 2 minutes waste adru parvagilla, but you have to do it so that you get your 4 marks without any problem. Okay, now let's move to another set of questions. Either rewrite as directed anta barutte 2 marks age nimage. These are very simple question tag. Question tag ಗೆ 2 rules barutte children. One is positive sentence ittandre then you should write negative question tag. Negative sentence ittandre then you will write positive question tag. Now what is this negative positive sentence? Let's look at this example so that you will get an understanding. I do not know what to do. I do not know what to do. ನನಗೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಇದು ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಆಗಿದೆಯಾ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಆಗಿದೆಯಾ? ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್. ನಾಟ್ I don't know. I know what to do ಅಂದ್ರೆ it is a positive. I do not know ಅಂದ್ರೆ it is negative. So negative sentence ಇದ್ರೆ it will always be a positive question tag. ನಾವು ಇವಾಗ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಸರ್ ಇದನ್ನ ಬರೆಯೋದು? This word is your keyword. They are called as auxiliary verbs or helping words. Is, are, have, has, did, do. ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ನಿಮಗೆ ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸಸ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. She had gone to Malaysia. She had gone to Malaysia. So ಇದನ್ನ ಬರೀತಿರುವಾಗ what is the question tag? Had gone ಅಲ್ವಾ? That means it is a positive. So the negative question tag will be hadn't she ಅಂತ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. That is your correct answer ತಾನೆ. So ಅದೇನು auxiliary word ಇದೆಯೋ ಅದನ್ನೇ ತಗೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಾನು ಅದನ್ನ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಆಗಿ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು I am adding the pronoun. That's all it is question tag, children. So now let's look at this answer. What's the auxiliary verb here? Do. I do not know what to do. So I ಅಂತ ಇದೆ, don't ಅಂತ ಬರಕ್ಕಾಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ because it is a negative question word ಅಲ್ವಾ. So I do not know what to do will become do I. Okay, many children ಏನ್ ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, like I did, no, they'll just take do not ಅಂತ ಇದೆ, they'll also take do not or don't I ಅಂತ ಬರೆದ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ, but that's wrong. Okay, so don't make that mistake. Always go with the correct answer. If it is in negative, then you will write positive. If it is in positive, you will write negative. Now next question, a policeman was clearing the traffic. Frame a WH question. WH questions andre what, where, when, why, who, how. How also is a form of WH question, children. So these are words you should use and you should make the questions. So now what is the answer over here? A policeman was clearing the traffic. What is underlined? A policeman another. So what's the right word? What was clearing the traffic ಬರೆಯಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. Where was clearing the traffic ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. When was clearing the traffic ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. Why was clearing the traffic? No, the answer should be policeman. So the correct answer is who. So what's the answer? Who was clearing the traffic. ಇಷ್ಟು ಬರೆದ್ರೆ you will get full marks ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ you are wrong because you are not putting the question mark. You are supposed to put a question mark. They have asked you to frame a WH question. If it is a WH question, you have to put a question mark. So don't forget to put a question mark. So simple. Now rectify the errors. ಈ errors ಅಲ್ಲಿ there will be so many errors. ಆ errors ನ ನೀವು ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. Errors could be in articles. ಕೆಲವೊಂದ್ಸತಿ ಸ್ಪೆಲ್ಲಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ errors ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಕೆಲವೊಂದ್ಸತಿ ರಿಡಂಡೆಂಟ್ ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ರಿಡಂಡೆಂಟ್ ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ she came back from Mysore. She came back from Mysore. Back from, returned back ಎಲ್ಲ ಸೇಮ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ರಿಟರ್ನ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. She returned from Mysore or she came from Mysore. That is more appropriate. ಇಲ್ಲಿ extra words ಎಲ್ಲ not necessary. Those extra words are all called as redundant words. Now let's see an example. King Lear is a interesting play. ಅವಾಗಲೇ ಹೇಳಿದೆ ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಬಂದಾಗ ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಎರರ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಐ ಇಂದ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಆನ್. ಕಿಂಗ್ ಲಿಯರ್ ಈಸ್ ಆನ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ಲೇ. ಬ್ರಿಜೇಶ್ ಪ್ರೇ ಎವ್ರಿ ಮಾರ್ನಿಂಗ್. ಬ್ರಿಜೇಶ್ ಪ್ರೇ ಎವ್ರಿ ಮಾರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಇಸ್ ಅಗೇನ್ ಗ್ರಾಮ್ಯಾಟಿಕಲಿ ರಾಂಗ್. ಎವ್ರಿ ಡೇ ಹಿ ಇಸ್ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್ ಇಟ್. ಐ ಟೋಲ್ಡ್ ಯು ವರ್ಬ್ಗೆ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಬಂದಾಗ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಆಡ್ ಎಸ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಪ್ರೇಸ್. ಬ್ರಿಜೇಶ್ ಪ್ರೇಸ್ ಎವ್ರಿ ಮಾರ್ನಿಂಗ್. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಯುವರ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್. ಓಕೆ, ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಎರರ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಸ್ಪೆಲ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಎರರ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ವರ್ಬ್ ತಪ್ಪಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಈಸ್ ಬದಲು ಆರ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಆರ್ ಬದಲು ಇಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಚೇಂಜ್. These are the possible kind of mistakes that will be there. Let's do one more set like this. Even again, these are options, children. You can write A or B, but my suggestion, like I am always saying, attempt both the sections so that you never know which is the best answer. They will take it, right? He is a great actor, question mark. Question tag na add ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಈಗ ತಾನೇ I told you, no, positive means negative question tag. Sorry, positive means negative question tag and negative sentence means positive question tag. So let's see whether this is the negative. He is a great actor. That's a positive sentence. Illi what is the auxiliary verb? Usually it will be the second word alva, is. So is the negative form ಏನು isn't. Pronoun ಯಾರು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋದು he ಅಂತ. So isn't he. Simple. He is a great actor, isn't he. Positive sentence ge negative question tag. Next, we played kabaddi during our school days. Again frame WH question. ಏನನ್ನ ಆಟ ಆಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು, ಏನು, right? We played kabaddi during our school days. So you can say what did they play during their school days. This is a good question. Athwa which game did they play during their school days? Illi we ಮತ್ತೆ that is important. Okay, now if I ask you a question, which game did you play, you will say we played kabaddi. We ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಬರೀತಾರವಾಗ it will become you or they. ಇಲ್ಲಿ we ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ it will always be they. Okay, so please remember this. We played kabaddi during our school days. Since it is you have to frame a question and you're asking this question to somebody else, you will always have to write it in this format. What did they play during their school days, or which game did they play during their school days? That will be the perfect way to write. And don't forget to put the question mark. Now rectify the errors. Children likes sweets. No, children like sweets. Okay, so that is the correct answer. It is not like sweets. Children like sweets. Then a sun rises in the east and the helakagala. Avaglane I told you, if you're talking about Earth, Mars, all these are things. When you're talking about specific thing, it has to be the sun rises in the east. That's the correct answer. Okay, so this will give you your 2 marks again. Now we'll move to this section, that is question number 33. If you are watching till here, I'm very glad that you're actually practicing with us, because I know there's a lot of grammatical content which is there. 40 marks na cover madbeku andre it is not very easy. So please do continue, because after this we have the large chunks, the different sections coming up anyways. This is very easy, children. So idu hengirutte andre you will have to just take the paragraph na odbitti adrinda you have to just make notes. Okay, ee notes ಮಾಡ್ತಾರಾಗ remember you have to draw this table in your answer sheet. If you draw it, it will be better. And don't forget to write the numbers 1 2 3 4 anta you have to write properly. Let's do one example for your reference. The Tungabhadra is one of the major rivers of Karnataka. Name of the river anta kelidare. So what is the answer? It is Tungabhadra. So write Tungabhadra as it is. Flows through Karnataka. It starts and flows through the state of Karnataka during most its course, then Andhra Pradesh. So they have written it flows through Karnataka. One more state has to kelidare. Here it is Andhra Pradesh. So I will write Andhra Pradesh. And ultimately joins two rivers, Krishna River. So Krishna, one river only, Krishna River near Murvakonda in Andhra Pradesh. So you will write that Murvakonda in Andhra Pradesh. That's all. Simple. So read the passage, otta you can fill it off, but a table na neat ag draw madi and write properly the answers without any spelling errors. That's good enough to go. Now we come to the last section, which is reported speech. Now this is the most important part of your grammar, right? This is where a lot of students will get confused and will make mistakes. So ನಾನು ನಿಮಗೆ some examples na ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ, but at the same time I'll also tell you some tips which is very important, and you should remember those tips alva. So nimage in your examination they will give you direct speech kotirtare ee tara. Okay, they will give you the name of a person and our ಏನು dialogue ಹೇಳಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ. That you will have to convert it to indirect speech or reported speech. Okay, ಅದನ್ನ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅಂತ is what I will tell you now. But before that, ಈ table ನಿಮಗೆ very clear ಆಗಿ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು. So I'm going to spend a minute or two to describe and explain this to you with utmost clarity. Okay, so direct speech alli these are the words that will be used. Adakke corresponding agi ನೀವು ಯಾವ words na ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ it is written here. Okay, and this is very helpful because ಇಷ್ಟು ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿತ್ತಂದ್ರೆ ಅರ್ಧ ರೂಲ್ಸ್ ನಿಮಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ. Especially ಈ part ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದು, this part is very important. If you know this part properly, then it is half of your reported speech is correct. So in the question ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ do ಅಥವಾ does ಅಂತ ಬಂತಂದ್ರೆ then you will always have to change it to did. Okay, he asked, do you know the time? He asked if he knew the time. So ಈ ತರ changes ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. So please remember that. Next one is has, have. If there is has and have, you always have to write had. She has Donna said that she has breadcrumbs. So has anta bariyakagala, she had breadcrumbs anta bariyಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. So has, have bantandre you always have to write had. Has done anta bantandre had done. Shall anta bantandre it will become should, would. May will become might. Would, must will become had. I, is, am, are ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಬಂತಂದ್ರೆ it will become was or were. according to the tense. Okay, did anta bantandre had done, was doing anta bantandre had been doing or was doing, um, will anta bantandre would, and can anta bantandre could. Okay, again these are all rules. Idanna ನೀವು just ನಿಮ್ glance ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ it is more than enough. In your questions this now time of the date ella bantandre you have to remember this anta bantandre write that, now will become then, today will become that day, tomorrow will become next day, here will become there, these will become those, ago will become before, and yesterday will become the previous day anta. Okay, this is basic rules. Ishtu niಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು, first set of rules. ಇದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ there are 2 or 3 more rules which I will tell you in detail. Now before I move ahead I will tell you how reported speech ಅಲ್ಲಿ 3 categories ಬರುತ್ತೆ. I'm just going to clear this. Okay, first one will be direct sentences. The second will be questions. Okay, questions alli nimage 2 forms of questions barutte. That will be the first part and the second one will be the second part. The first type of questions are called as the WH questions. What, where, adella nanu avagale helkottidalva adu. The next set of questions are your yes or no questions anta. Okay, yes or no questions. ಈ ಮೂರಿಗೂ ನಿಮಗೆ ರೂಲ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಗಿ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತಂದ್ರೆ then half of your job is done. We'll start with this. Okay, now if you get a direct sentence, let's say for example A is saying a direct sentence, it is beautiful. Okay, if this is the dialogue that is given to you, now how do you identify this? Full stop in the end aitandre that means it is a direct sentence. If it is a direct sentence, ನೀವು reported speech ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀತಾ ಇರುವಾಗ you need to say A said that it was beautiful. Okay, now let's observe the changes here. A said is very important ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವು double inverted commas ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ತೆಗಿತಾ ಇರುವಾಗ you have to say said. The minute you finish you remove ಮಾಡಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ you have to add conjunction that. If you add this that, only then you are grammatically the sentence is correct. Okay, so direct sentences okay, you have to add that. Okay, adadmele it will remain as it is. I told you in the previous slide is will become was alva, so that is why it is becoming was. Beautiful will remain as it is beautiful. Okay, let's do one more. She is going to the park. Okay, S is telling, let's say to her friend T. So idanna heng baritara? S said to T. Again full stop in the end agtade, so when it is in ending with full stop you have to write that. Said to T that she is will become was. She was going to the park. Okay, ಇದು ಯಾರೋ ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ they are saying that she was going to the park. So this is how you write the first rules. First thing in reported speech, direct sentences bandaga this is how you will do your answers. Remember pronoun will change. Second one tense change ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, present in the past change ಆಗಬೇಕು. Third one is ಈ conjunction that na add ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ನೀವು. Those 3 things you should remember. Pronoun first one, second one tenses, and third one conjunction that add ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. Okay, now let's go to the next form, that is the WH questions. Okay, now let's say for example S is asking where did the pigeons fly. Okay, now ಈ ತರ questions ಬಂದಾಗ how do you identify? Suddenly automatically read the question and question ನಲ್ಲಿ question mark ಇಂದ ಎಂಡ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು WH questions ಇಂದ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಯ್ತಂದ್ರೆ then ನೀವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡೋ ರೂಲ್ಸ್ ನ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ ನೀವು. Okay, now what is the rule? Let's write it in reported speech. She S asked, let's say T. ಈ ವೇರ್ ಇರೋದನ್ನ ಹಂಗೆ ಬರಿಬೇಕು ನೀವು. ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ವರ್ಡ್ ಇಸ್ ದೇರ್, WH, ವಾಟ್, ವೈ, ವೇರ್, ವೆನ್, ಹೂ, ಈ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ಸ್ ಬಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ರೈಟ್ ಆಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್. ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದು WH ವರ್ಡ್ ನ ಹಂಗೆ ಬರಿಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಡೋಂಟ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಎನಿಥಿಂಗ್. T where did the pigeons fly ಅಷ್ಟೇ, and remove the question mark by putting a full stop. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. It is just that you are writing the as it is, you are writing without any errors. Now the second rule that you should remember here is in same rules apply ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, pronouns change ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Second one, tenses change ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. And third one, that ಬರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. No conjunction in this case. Questions ನಲ್ಲಿ conjunction ಬರಲ್ಲ. Only sentences ನಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತ್ರ conjunction ಬರೋದು. Even though if you have a sentence which ends with exclamation mark also, you will have to write that. Okay. But question mark in the end ಆಯ್ತಂದ್ರೆ never write the conjunction that. Please avoid writing it. The last type of questions is your yes or no questions. Basically ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ತರ questions ಬರುತ್ತಂದ್ರೆ, do you know to solve maths? ಈ ತರ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಬಂತಂದ್ರೆ the answer will be what? Yes I know or no I don't know. ಇಂಥ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ಸ್ಗೆ there is a different rule. So let's take the same example itself. Let's say S asked Y, if that's the question. S ಜೊತೆ Y conversation ನಡೀತದೆ. Do you know maths? Okay. ಈ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ಗೆ ಹೆಂಗ್ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟೆಡ್ ಸ್ಪೀಚ್ ಬರೆಯೋದು? So S asked T, do na ಹಂಗೆ ಬರೆಯಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ಸ್ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳಿದೆ, you have to write it as it is ಅಂತ. But in this case you cannot write it like that. This do will change into two possibilities, either whether or if. Both are correct, you can choose whichever you want. Okay. D, S asked T if or whether. You will become what? T, the gender male dependent idu. If it is a boy, they will say if, whether, he. If it is a girl, you will say she. So S asked T if or whether she know. No will become knew alva. Past tense change ಆಗಬೇಕು. If she knew maths. Okay. So this is the most simplest thing that you should remember. I'm saying most simplest, which is wrong grammatically, but I'm still saying that because it is very easy as long as you know the rules. Yes or no question ge do can you go to school or have you got your marks? ಈ ತರ questions ಗೆಲ್ಲ answers ಏನು ಬರುತ್ತೆ? Yes I have got it, no I have not got it. ಇಂಥ questions ಗೆ you have to use this new word which is if or whether. And in ಮಿಕ್ಕಿದ ರೂಲ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸೇಮ್ ಹಂಗೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಪ್ರೊನೌನ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು, ಪಾಸ್ಟ್ ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಇಂದ ಪಾಸ್ಟ್ ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು. ದೋಸ್ ರೂಲ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ರಿಮೇನ್ ದ ಸೇಮ್. ಕಂಜಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಡ್ ಆಗಬೇಕಾ ಆಡ್ ಆಗಬಾರ್ದಾ ಅನ್ನೋದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇಫ್ ಯು ನೋ, ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಕೇಕ್ ವಾಕ್. ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಅಟ್ ಆಲ್ ಅ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್. ಸೊ ಇದ್ರ ಜೊತೆ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಟೆಲಿಂಗ್ ಯು, ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಟೇಬಲ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. ಕೆಲವೊಂದ್ಸತಿ ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಆಸ್ಕ್ ಯು ಟುಡೇ ಟುಮಾರೋ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಕೇಳಿದಾಗ ಯು ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಏಬಲ್ ಟು ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಲಿ. ಟುಮಾರೋ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಡೇ, ಟುಡೇ ಅಂದ್ರೆ that day. ಈ ತರ if you are able to remember, we can do this. Now let's do few examples from your model papers. Report, this is for 5 marks children, so be very very careful. I have also written the answer just to save time, right? So now minister, the dialogue na first ಓದಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ನಿಮಗೆ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಅಪ್ರೋಚ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಇದನ್ನ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಟೆಲ್ ಯು ಫಸ್ಟ್. ಸೊ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ನ ಓದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನೀವೇನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ದು ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಶೀಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಇಫ್ ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಸೇ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಯುವರ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಶೀಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ಟಾಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಕಾಲಮ್ ತರ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ನೀವು. ಇದು ಯಾಕೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಟೆಲ್ ಯು ಫಸ್ಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಟೆಲ್ ಯು ನೌ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೌಂಟ್ ಹೌ ಮೆನಿ ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್, ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್, ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಥರ್ಡ್ ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್, ಫೋರ್ತ್ ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್, 5. ಟೋಟಲಿ ಇನ್ ಯೋರ್ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟೆಡ್ ಸ್ಪೀಚ್ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ 5 ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. 5 ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಆದ್ರೂ ಇರ್ಬೋದು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇವಾಗ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನೀವು ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, 1 2 3 4 5 ಅಂತ ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ನಾವು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೇನೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ವೈ ಡು ಯು ನಾಟ್ ರನ್ ಅವೇ, ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಇಂದ ಎಂಡ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ಇದು ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್, ಕ್ಯೂ ಅಂತ ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ನೋ ಗಾರ್ಡ್ ಕೆಪ್, ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ನೋ ಗಾರ್ಡ್ ಟು ಕೀಪ್ ಯು, ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಇದೇನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್, ಎಸ್ ಅಂತ ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ದ ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ನಾಟ್ ಮೈಂಡ್ ಇದೇನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಐ ನೋ ಇಟ್ ಇದೇನು ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್. ಬಟ್ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ನೋ ವೇರ್ ಟು ಗೋ ಇದೇನು ಅಗೇನ್ ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಎಷ್ಟು ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಇದೆ? ಒಂದು ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಇದೆ. ಅಂಡ್ ಇನ್ ಮಿಕ್ಕಿದೆಲ್ಲ ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಅದ್ರ ಪಕ್ಕ ನೀವು ಡ್ಯಾಶ್ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹಿಂಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ವೆನ್ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಕಂಜಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಯು ಶುಡ್ ಆಡ್. ಐ ಟೋಲ್ಡ್ ಯು ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಕಂಜಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡೋದು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ್ದಾವ್ದು ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಇರೋದು ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಒನ್ ಡಾಟ್ ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಡಾಟ್ ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ದಿಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಯು ಶುಡ್ ರೈಟ್ ದಟ್, ದಿಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಯು ಶುಡ್ ರೈಟ್ ದಟ್. ಇದು WH ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್, ವೈ ಡಿಡ್ ಯು ನಾಟ್ ರನ್ ಅವೇ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಎಸ್ ಆರ್ ನೋ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್, ಚಾನ್ಸೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್. ಸೊ ವಿಚ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ when you are writing you should write why only, you cannot change it to if alva or if or whether ಬರೆಯಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಇಷ್ಟು ನೀವು ರಫ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ then it is easy. ಇದ್ರ ಜೊತೆ you can also write will ಇದ್ರೆ would ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, is ಇದ್ರೆ are ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಸಾರಿ was ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಟೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ರೆಫರೆನ್ಸ್ಗೋಸ್ಕರ. ನಾವು ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಈಸಿ ಟು ಸಾಲ್ವ್. ನಾವು ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ರೈಟ್ ದ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಆಸ್ ಯೂಶುವಲ್. ಇದು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಯಾರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು? ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್. ಸೊ ದ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಆಸ್ಕ್ಡ್ ದ ಕ್ರಿಮಿನಲ್, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್. ಸೊ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಆಸ್ಕ್ಡ್ ದ ಕ್ರಿಮಿನಲ್ ವೈ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಆಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್, ವೈ ಡು ಯು ನಾಟ್ ರನ್ ಅವೇ. ಇದು ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ನಾಟ್ ಸೇ ವೈ ಯು ನಾಟ್ ರನ್ ಅವೇ ಅಂತ ಬರೆಯಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ವೈ he did not run away ಅಂತ ಬರೆದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಗ್ರಾಮ್ಯಾಟಿಕಲಿ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಚೇಂಜಿಂಗ್ ದಿ ಆರ್ಡರ್. ಯು ಯಾರು ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ? ಕ್ರಿಮಿನಲ್ ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ. he did not, do not will become did not. Why he did not run away as usual. This you have to be careful. Okay, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋ ತರನೇ ಬರಿಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಇಲ್ಲ. You have to slightly change it so that it will sound grammatically correct. So ನಿಮ್ದು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಯ್ತು. The minister asked the criminal why he did not run away. There is no God to keep you. So ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಯು ಶುಡ್ ಸೇ, ಯಾರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಇದನ್ನ? ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್. ಫರ್ದರ್ ಹಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾರಿದು? ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್. ದ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಸೆಡ್ ದಟ್. ಐ ಟೋಲ್ಡ್ ಯು ನೋ, ದಟ್ ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ನೀವು. ಸೊ ಯು ಆಡ್ ದಟ್. ದೇರ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ ದೇರ್. ಈಸ್ ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ ವಾಸ್. ದೇರ್ ವಾಸ್. ನೋ ವಿಲ್ ರಿಮೇನ್ ನೋ. ಗಾಡ್ ವಿಲ್ ರಿಮೇನ್ ಗಾಡ್. ಟು ವಿಲ್ ರಿಮೇನ್ ಟು. ಕೀಪ್ ವಿಲ್ ರಿಮೇನ್ ಕೀಪ್. ಯು ಇಸ್ ಅ ಪ್ರೊನೌನ್. ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ ಹಿಮ್. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಕ್ರಿಮಿನಲ್ಗೆ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಸೇಯಿಂಗ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಹಿ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಆಟೋಮ್ಯಾಟಿಕ್ಲಿ ಬಿಕಮ್ ಹಿಮ್. ಸೊ ಅದು ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಯ್ತು, ಬರೆದು ಬಿಡಿ. ದೆನ್ ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ಅನದರ್ ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಆಡ್ ದ ವರ್ಡ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್. ದ ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ನಾಟ್ ಮೈಂಡ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಅಗೇನ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್. ವೆನ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್, ವಾಟ್ ಡಿಡ್ ಐ ಸೇ? ಥರ್ಡ್ ಒನ್ಗೆ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ರೈಟ್ ದಟ್ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಯು ಸೇ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದಟ್. ದ ವಿಲ್ ರಿಮೇನ್ ದ. ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ರಿಮೇನ್ ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸ್. will become would. So would. Not will remain not. Mind will remain mind. ಸಿಂಪಲ್. ಸೊ 3 ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಆಯ್ತು, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಗೀತು. ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಪುಟ್ ಟಿಕ್ ಮಾರ್ಕ್, ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ. ನಾವು ಫೋರ್ತ್ ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಕ್ರಿಮಿನಲ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಚೇಂಜ್. ದ ಕ್ರಿಮಿನಲ್ ರಿಪ್ಲೈಡ್. ಇದೆಲ್ಲದಕ್ಕೂ ಹಿ ಸೆಡ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಸೇ ಸೆಡ್ ದಟ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ದ ಕ್ರಿಮಿನಲ್ ಸೆಡ್ ದಟ್. ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ ಹಿ. ನೋ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ ನ್ಯೂ. ನೋ ಇಸ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಟೆನ್ಸ್. ಪಾಸ್ಟ್ ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ನೋ ಇಸ್ ನ್ಯೂ. ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ರಿಮೇನ್ ಆಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್. ಸೊ ಹಿ ನ್ಯೂ ಇಟ್. Then it continues. Fifth sentence go saha you have to write that. So finish with that. But he said that he had nowhere to go. But I will become he have will become had, nowhere to go. Simple. So this is your reported speech. So my suggestion is ಇದನ್ನ ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಕಾಲಮ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಪೆನ್ಸಿಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ you can erase it. ಇದನ್ನ you can also write it in the last page in pencil as working, so that you know exactly what you are writing and you are not making mistakes. Idr jothe you can also write rules. Pronouns na change ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ, tenses na past present in the past ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂತನೂ you can write it in this working column. The more you put in effort, the more it is possible for you to get 5 out of 5. Okay, let's apply the same logic for another question now. This is from the voter lesson. Roof. We have a minister from our village. Do you want him to lose in this election? So first let's identify the sentences. This is sentence number 1. This is second sentence. This is third sentence. This is fourth. And this is fifth. So let's write it here. Okay. Working column anta ankoli. First sentence eno? It is a sentence. Second sentence question. Third sentence eno? Sentence. Fourth question eno? Sentence. Fifth question eno? Sentence. Okay. Now let us identify ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನೇನು ಬರಬೇಕು. ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಐ ಶುಡ್ ಆಡ್ ದಟ್. ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ಗೆ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಚೆಕ್ ಅದು WH ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಅಥವಾ yes or no ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಅಂತ. Do you want him to lose in this election? If you ask your friends, do you want to lose this match? What will your friends say? Yes or no? It is yes or no. No, they will not say the same. They will not give you one detailed explanation, right? So this is a yes or no question. Yes or no question ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ರೂಲ್ ಪ್ರಕಾರ you have to write if or whether. ಇವೆರಡರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಒಂದು ವರ್ಡ್ ಬರೀಬೇಕು. So I'll write that here. Third one, direct sentence, so I'll write that. Fourth one, direct sentence, I'll write that. Fifth one, direct sentence, I'll write that. Okay. And if you want to write have, ide have ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, had ಆಗಬೇಕು. We will not, will become would ಆಗಬೇಕು. Shall, we shall see him win. Shall should also become would. Thank you for your support. Yeah, so ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ನೀವು ಅದು ನೋಟ್ ತಕ್ಷಣ you will be able to write in your working column ಅಲ್ವಾ. Now let's start writing the answers. Roof told the elders that ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್ ದಟ್ ಬರಿಬೇಕು. that we ಅಂದ್ರೆ when it changes it will become they. that they have will become had, ಆಗ್ಲೇ ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ. so they had a minister ಹಂಗೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. from our will become their village. so ಹಂಗೆ ಬರ್ದಿದ್ದೀನಿ ನೋಡಿ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. and asked him again, if do ತೆಗೆದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು if ಬರುತ್ತೆ. if you will become, if they want will become wanted him to lose in this will become that election. ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಸಿಂಪಲ್. ಫುಲ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಹಾಕಂಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಫುಲ್ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಹಾಕಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ರಿಟನ್ ದಟ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಹಿಯರ್. ಪರ್ಫೆಕ್ಟ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಇಸ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್. ದ ಎಲ್ಡರ್ ಸೆಡ್ ದಟ್ they would not betray their son. we will not. they will become would not betray their son. we shall see him win. and they said that they shall will become would. they would see him win as usual. Last one, roof then said thank you to their supporters ಅಂತಾನು ಬರಿಬಹುದು, or roof then thanked them for their support ಅಂತಾನು ಬರಿಬಹುದು. now you can say that sir ಇಲ್ಲಿ that ಬರ್ದಿಲ್ವಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ. even if it is not written, it is okay. you can still go ahead and write it as it is, because it is a thank you statement. so you can say roof thanked the elders for their support ಅಂತ ಬರೆದ್ರು ಸಾಕು. thank you for your support, your will become their support. ಇದು ಹೆಂಗಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ it is like game. basically if you know ಯಾವಾಗ ಏನ್ನ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಯು ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಏಬಲ್ ಟು ಏಸ್ ಇಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ನಾನು ಈ ವಿಡಿಯೋನ ಮತ್ತೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸತಿ ನೋಡಿ, ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಟು ಗೆಟ್ ದ ಹ್ಯಾಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ವಾಟ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಟೆಲಿಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟೆಡ್ ಸ್ಪೀಚ್. ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ದಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಗಿವ್ ಯು ಅ ಗುಡ್ ಕ್ಲಾರಿಟಿ ಫಾರ್ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟೆಡ್ ಸ್ಪೀಚ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. ಸೊ ಒನ್ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ಅಲಿಫಾನೋ ಅಂಡ್ ಬೋರ್ಗೆಸ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಅಲಿಫಾನೋ, ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಬ್ಲೈಂಡ್ನೆಸ್ ಟು ಯು? then Borges, it is the way of life. I was not completely unhappy. have you thought of writing a book on this history of the book? It is an excellent idea. now let us identify. ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಕಾಲಮ್ ಹಾಕಿ, ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್ 1, ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್ 2, ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್ 3, ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್ 4 ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್ 5. ಸೊ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಏನಿದೆ, ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಇದೆ. ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಏನಿದೆ, ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್. ಥರ್ಡ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಏನಿದೆ, ಥರ್ಡ್ ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್. ಫೋರ್ತ್ ಒನ್ ಇಸ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್, ಫಿಫ್ತ್ ಒನ್ ಇಸ್ ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಪರ್ಫೆಕ್ಟ್. ಸೊ ಇವಾಗ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ WH ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಇಂದ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಇಲ್ಲೇ ನೋಡಿ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ. WH ಇಂದ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ವಾಟ್ ಯು ಶುಡ್ ರೈಟ್, ಅದೇನಿದೆಯೋ ಅದೇ ಬರೀಬೇಕು. it is a way of life. I am not. so second one is a sentence, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ that ಹಂಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. third one will also have that. fourth one, have you thought of writing a book? if you ask your friend, have you thought of writing a book, what will your friend say? no or yes ಅಲ್ವಾ. so it is a yes or no question. yes or no question ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ automatically you should know it is if or whether ಅಲ್ವಾ. so write that in your working column. it is an excellent idea ಅಂತ ಇದೆ. so if it is direct sentence, then you will write that. okay, so now we have our rough. ಇದು ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಏನಾದರೂ ಇದೆಯಾ? have you thought, if have will become had, ಇನ್ನೇನಾದರೂ ಇದೆ, excellent, is will become was. okay, so let's now try to do it. so Alifano, this is question ಅಂತ ಬಂದಾಗ automatically it will be asked. Alifano asked Borges, what is blindness? no, so what will remain as it is will become was. what was blindness to you? you will change because it is pronoun to him. so that is what is written here. Alifano asked Borges what is blindness to him. 1 mark you got. now Borges is saying it is a way of life. it will remain as it is will become was. it was a way of life ashte. so that will give you 1 mark. then he also says that I will become he was not completely unhappy. I am not completely unhappy. now you are saying I am not completely unhappy, but in the reported speech you will say that he was not completely unhappy. no, so that is why you will say was not. so this is also correct. you got 1 2 3 marks here. now fourth one, have you thought of writing a book on the history? we have done rough work only, if or whether. so have you. Alifano asked Borges, have will remove. if he had thought, ಸೇಮ್ ಹೆಂಗಿದೆಯೋ ಹಂಗೆ, ಆಫ್ ರೈಟಿಂಗ್ ಅ ಬುಕ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಹಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಆಫ್ ಬುಕ್. ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಬರಲ್ಲ, ಫುಲ್ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ದಟ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್. ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್, Borges said or replied that it was an excellent idea. That's all. So you got your 5 marks. It's very simple. As long as you are able to understand where you are supposed to change what, then it is very simple. And most importantly, pronouns nimag napkarbeku. Go line by line, word by word. Don't rush. Don't be in a hurry to write the answer and finish off 5 marks. Go word by word, like just like how I did it. Do it exactly like that. Even if you write it in pencil and then come back and rewrite it in pen, it's okay. But what I'm saying is, write it in a systematic manner, slow and steady, by changing all the things that is needed to be changed. If you do that kind of a thing, there is a high possibility you will get easily 5 out of 5 if you follow these rules. I think these 3 examples are good enough for all of you. Remember the rules. Reported speech only, tenses will always change from present to past. Second thing you should remember is pronouns change agate, and the third thing that you should remember is 3 types alli sentence bantandre, that to question words bantandre 2 types barutte. First type is WH question. If it is WH, you will write as it is without changing anything. If it is yes or no, then you will change, and by adding if or whether. That's all. It is as simple as that. Wow. So now we finished all your 40 marks. I think I have few tips and suggestions for all of you. Grammar concepts ge, especially part A. This is especially for part A. That is after MCQs, question number 11, 12 and 13. Please do not attempt it more than once. You understood that it is wrong, then I would recommend you not to scratch and rewrite and all. Write it in pencil, reread it once again, so that you know that what you have written is correct. If scratch ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಮತ್ತೆ extra changes ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, there is a high chance that they will reduce your marks or they won't consider it. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ದಿರ್ತಾರೆ, for part A answers written first will always be considered anta. So don't unnecessarily scratch and write, especially in part A. Second thing is, reread the answers once you have written them. See, English means, it doesn't mean that you will finish it off in 40 minutes and you'll sit and sleep, alva. Read your answers once again, especially grammar also. When you don't read your answers, once if you read, you will get to know grammatically if it is right or wrong. If it is wrong, no, then automatically you can change it. So adike be very cautious. Reread once you, don't be in a hurry to write it, is what I'm saying. A question of odi, try filling it in your memory, in your head. If it makes sense, then it's correct. If it is not making sense, then try to refit it. It is a little bit like trial and error. Okay, so do that. Then underline the blanks correctly after writing the questions. Many students don't do this. Sentence na hange bardbiಟ್ಟು ಹೊರಟೋಗ್ತಾರೆ, but you have to underline which is the correct answer. No, if you don't underline, where will the evaluator sit and search? So underline the correct answers properly. Reported speech allo ashte, ನೀವು ಏನೇನು ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ, had changed, has changed, all those things na you underline, and I think it will be good enough for you. So with that, I come to the end of this grammar series. In my previous video, I have covered dialogue writing and letter of application. In this video, I have covered the entirety of your grammar, which will come for around 30 marks or so. So the whole idea is that now you are equipped to study for grammar as well. I think just watching this video properly, pausing at intervals and recollecting the points that I'm saying will be a good preparation for you for your examination for English. So I truly hope that this video has helped you. If you are all the way watching here till the end, rest assured that you will get all your marks which is necessary in the grammar section. Please do share this video with your friends who are writing English exam on March 3rd. And for all the others who need support with grammar, I think this is a good platform for you to just refer to. And please do comment if you have any questions. If you feel that there is something else that you need with any other grammatical concepts, please do put that in the comment section so that I can refer to it and we can come back and share some examples with you or do a little bit more exercises. But the idea is that you feel empowered. Nimaga whatever is necessary for the exams, all those resources are given to you now. So go ahead and practice. Go ahead and prepare for your exams. All the best for your examinations. On that note, I will take your leave for this session. All the best for your exams and your preparation. Thank you so much.